All right, welcome to the finals, everyone, of TNE number 10. We've got control versus aggro, or control versus mid range. gozuuu going to keep a hand of exploit, Moldermuck, Torgov, and Davia. Seems like a pretty decent starting hand for a control deck. You love when a control deck has a good curve.
Yeah, not there's like no early removal, spell
No.
that I would like to
But
see.
this is interesting. Are we going to
Against
turn to exploit, take a League Explorer before it gets cast? That would be
I,
amazing.
that would be really good.
I
Because
mean,
like you
or it's
don't
either
want
that or
that going.
Amphitheater, but I feel like if you can just snag the League Explorer before it can attack, that really rips apart Marten's hand.
I think so.
I think you do that. You just take that and then you slam Moldermuck, and Marten is so behind at that point.
I mean, the issue would be that Davia becomes a 14 cost or something, and like, does that matter at that point? I mean,
Right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like
and
that's a good
then
play. I mean, it's not necessarily what you would normally do, but I think in this situation, that sounds like a really good play.
because then like the follow up would.
Yeah, here we go. Gonna snag that League Explorer. I love it. Now the question is whether you plunder. I'm not sure this matters too much. You're just gonna plunder away the Davia.
I mean, I think that's smart, right? Because then like you've got an 8 cost Tavrod. I'm
Sure.
sorry, not Torgov, I mean,
Yeah.
Tavrod,
Yeah, same
sorry.
thing. Team not
And
Torgov.
yeah, team not Torgov. Because Torgov's so powerful. An 8 cost Torgov is not as bad.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
just manacles on the Moldermuck. Wow. I don't know. Like gozuuu's got to be really happy about the way this has gone so far. Just
Yeah,
gonna, yeah,
well,
just play out. When you're the one playing out units first, sure, that Torgov looks pretty good.
Martin doesn't really want to take damage, I think. I guess that's
All right, Shoal
also the
Custodian can
custodian.
bounce that Torgov, but oh well, it's fine. Like if you're gozuuu, you just replay it. You can
Yeah, I
short
think
hopper too,
so.
I guess, if you want to start getting your ramp on. Short hopper, privilege of rank, maybe, but that's fine too.
Yeah, I think yeah, you're right. I mean, I think Davia is going to end up being a 14 cost no matter what.
Probably. So maybe that's not even worth
So,
it.
so they've already lost one though, right? Because they plundered the
True.
one. So they're
Yes, they already lost one, and if that one gets double, they lose a second. All right, here comes the amphitheater. So this is what Marten needed to do. Slow, like you called it. Get that Davia is basically essentially useless at this point. If the game goes to turn 14, okay.
right. I mean, I could see it. I could see that. Like, there's nothing in the maybe in the market at this point,
I
but
don't know, maybe, but you have the Vara's favor in hand, which means gozuuu is at least at 6 power, which means that gozuuu just needs to draw 1 power and then you just get a Davia. Like,
yeah,
how is Marten beating Davia? Like,
yeah,
once it hits the board.
yeah.
Yeah, I would gozuuu. I think it's hard necessarily examining control decks. We don't have a little like momentum bar, and it's a little bit
Right.
tougher when it's not an aggro matchup and you can't see the life totals as clearly. But like, I think gozuuu is massively winning this game right
Yeah, yeah. I just remember when Magic the Gathering tournaments put in that
now. Yeah,
coverage, they would put this like
little bar that slides by. I'm still wondering
bar.
what the if that was some sort of fancy AI or if someone was just literally just had a slider on the back in the
Yeah.
in production booth and was just sliding it back and forth.
Uh,
I love if it was
yeah,
like
I
connected
think
to see you connect it to like a physical slider and then you just have one of those little like toys where you just slide it back and forth as you're watching the match.
but now, like with Torgov doing its thing, just pitching whatever was picked. is just, that's easy
Yeah.
to choose.
I mean, this
There's
game's
no,
over.
yeah, it's over. This what Martin unfortunately is just flooding out.
Here comes the Davia. Yeah, I mean Martin might have lost anyway because the hand was a little bit fragile to start with and then
Yeah,
got super flooded afterwards. So it's not like Martin really has had the tools to win this game at all.
right.
Probably couldn't have done anything looking back at it, but I think the slow on the short hopper instead of the Davia, again, it probably didn't matter at the end of the day, but I'm not sure I agree with that call. But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe gozuuu didn't want the short hopper getting something else. These finals are
Well,
best of 3, remember? So
yeah. I mean, Martin's opening hand was not
no, it
fantastic.
wasn't.
I don't know if they went down to 7, or they redrawed or whatever, but
I mean, it was tough. It was a fragile hand with one good unit, and then they were on the draw, and then they got their one good unit exploited. So once that happened, it was just playing catch up the rest of the way. And
yeah.
obviously, that's not going to work.
Well, they can pyrotech go out in style on this game. Yep.
Taking out the Davia instead. Martin, forgetting the unwritten rules of TNE, you
Yeah.
pyrotech your own face. All right, gozuu's going to take game number 1 there. All right, 1 game away from a trophy, getting into the Invitational. We commented this in
Powerful
break. So
deck.
this is gozuu's first TNE this season. Now, it's not quite the TNE curse of win your first. I don't. Is that a curse? What's the opposite of curse? Of win your
Omen.
first TNE you play in. But gozuuu did play 5 last season, so it's not their first TNE overall, but it is their first of the season.
Yeah.
The Sunny
I
effect, just show up for one tournament and win it. And
I think this deck is sweet.
it seems good. I think it just shows also just the power of Davia. I mean, Davia is just such a good card, and when you can just surround it with other cards that are also good.
Yeah. I mean, I've not seen Gozu playing this week, so I don't know if this is something that has been worked on on stream, or if this is
Yeah.
just something that popped up today.
Well, I believe that Gozu is co-streaming right now, which is really funny.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure people are watching from that side as well, which I love. And I believe the stream title is like trying something out for TNE. So more power to you. I love it. I think that's great. I'm really curious what the 2 losses were because this deck, we've seen it go over the top of control of like big mid-range decks, but then we've also seen it beat 2-0 aggro and now look pretty good against that aggro deck. So I'm really curious. Oof. Oof. I don't like these starting
yeah.
hands though. I'm interested to see who gozuu's losses.
Martin's hand is still not good, right? Against this, I mean, there's just
Hmm. Also,
no
Martin
units.
on the draw again and then went to 6, I believe.
Yep.
Ugh. I mean, gozuu's hand's bad too, but playable. Yeah. Oh man, Martin's hand is terrible.
It's just awful, and it's like there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, if you're gozuuu now, you're looking at Martin's hand, you see that it's terrible. I don't know. I mean, you don't really have the tools necessarily to go aggro, but I feel like if you're gozuuu now, you're like, well, I don't need to play the slow control game now because there's no way my opponent's going to be able to put together a fast enough
Right.
clock to kill me. So I feel like gozuuu is now it's weird to say, but I feel like gozuuu is now the beatdown. Like
Yeah.
you are not, your life total is not threatened. As soon as you can get a threat down, just start going to town because
Yeah.
you'll be able to be bigger and better things than Martin's able to.
Yeah. Like you just so what is Martin going to do? He's going to play out the Houndmaster. That's
Yep.
just going to get permed.
Yeah.
And like, do
Yeah.
you even
You just
bother
burn this
exploiting?
and
Because what's in their hand, so you
yep.
don't need to exploit,
I
right?
probably wouldn't exploit. I just hold it. Okay, that's fine too. I mean, it's fine either way, right? Like, I don't think it's wrong to exploit there, but you don't need to.
Right.
All right, League Explorer is something. I guess League Explorer makes it so Torkov can't just like freely attack. But that's it. That's all that Marten has. So Marten now needs to top deck the rest of the game. Needs to top deck to even get through this Torgov.
Yeah, I think Martin's last two. Okay, well,
You
their
probably
last
pass
two.
here. I don't think you want to give League Explorer free attacks, but flood it
Yeah,
again. Marten up
probably.
to 7 power. Film painting. Gozu just needs an undepleted power to slam this Davia. Another power from Marten. I mean, I don't know what you do if you're Marten. You mulligan down to 6 and got flooded. Like, not what you do. Undepleted power. Justice Sigil too. Davia gonna hit. Exploit's just not
Exploit.
gonna hit anything. Now I would
Like
attack with Torgov though.
you didn't really have any. You only had two exploits in the bin to look at, so to choose from. So
Houndmaster. Can you attack? I guess not. Well, you can. I mean, you can stun. Yeah, you can stun and attack.
yeah, I think you just yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't see why you wait. You just go.
I guess I kind of wonder if having held that power for whatever.
I mean, Gozu's the one in the finals here up a game, so I'm not one to tell Gozu how to play, but
Right.
I would just be attacking. Like this game is over. Like attack, end the game. There's not really much that Marten can do. Like even if they were to sneak out like one hound, like it doesn't even matter. You've got the 4/4 blocker. You've got Torgov. You can leave black. Like I think I would be attacking pretty aggressively here.
Yeah.
Davia can just start stunning twice a turn. Like there's no way that Marten's gonna get you down from 25 at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Shoal Custodian gonna bounce the Moldermuck. Defile too.
Wow.
Yeah. So defile the Houndmaster, and then you can either stun or Moldermuck. I'd probably play out Moldermuck. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You can go on the stun train now, right? Like all aboard the stun train. You got 8 power. You could double stun every turn.
Like even if you took four, I
Right.
mean,
Right. Even
that
if you
wouldn't
took 4.
matter. But I mean, I guess just being conservative. Mindfire, I'm
Okay,
not sure
exhaust 2
does a
units.
whole
That'll
lot.
get through for 6.
Plus the
Plus the Hound, yeah.
Houndmaster. Okay.
Yeah. But I think this was my point, right? Was like that's a good play, but you're still at 15 and you still have everything going for you, right? Like you're
Right.
at is there any way to win this turn? You can deal 14 damage. You can't deal any damage
You
with this,
could
right?
you could Sinister Rumors the Houndmaster back and
Oh yeah, there you go.
attack.
Sinister Rumor Houndmaster game, right? Draw a unit from your
Although,
void, play Houndmaster, play it, attack 10 plus 4. No, that's still only 14
yeah, so you still only have.
because you have to do because you have to do
Yeah, yeah.
you have to do the tandem attack. But that's okay. I think if it were me, I would go stun, attack with 2 of these units. Or even stun one of them, Sinister Rumors back the other Houndmaster. Or you might not be able to do that. You might not have enough power. Alright, that works too. Use the Sinister Rumors to kill the Houndmaster so they can't make more hounds.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good play.
Manacles does
Uh,
not a whole lot, but
I mean, it's something, but it doesn't really change the problem. Oof, Mandevilla. Yeah.
uh,
I mean, this is what they call like an embarrassment of riches, right? Like, just you can stun both units. You can Mandevilla one of the units. You can attack with everything. You can attack with one thing.
right.
maybe this is where you think like, okay, how do I not die? Like
Yeah,
what happens if Marten draws a Houndmaster and then attacks with 2 units? You know, what happens if what is the worst possible thing that could happen to me, and how does that play against me trying to end the game quicker?
yeah. I mean, I think you have to look at it as like, well, how do I lose?
Yeah, how do I lose?
How is
Exactly.
this? And I mean, now I think, okay, now you start stunning,
Yeah.
and you just probably attack with Avia.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now that puts Marten down to 8. Those 2 units are stunned. The fact that it's not just exhaust and it's full stun, meaning they go away for another turn, is
Yeah.
really brutal. Yeah, I mean Marten, you can't blame Marten, right? Like what was
Mm-mm.
Marten supposed to do? Went down to 6, flooded out both games.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing against what Martin did. Martin did, was had two unfortunate games where it comes to resources and opening hands, and you know,
Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
yep,
Attacking in for 6 overwhelm here.
I would just take it, right? I mean, no real reason to.
I think so. I mean, you can get a decay.
6, 7, 8, 9.
You can. Is there any value to getting 1 decay trigger off? Probably not. Is there any value to chumping and gaining 3 from the Mandevilla? I could see that. I don't think that's necessary. I think you can chump block with the Mandevilla because you still have 8. You still have 8 coming through next turn because the 2 Molder Mucks. You still have 6 plus 1 plus 1.
Yeah.
You know, Gozu doesn't know what's
Okay,
in
so
Martin's hand, so may have
Martin
gotten like a
could
lay
have a
siege.
lacy. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was gonna say.
So
Could have a lay siege, so you got to think about, do I lose to lay siege? But nope, that's gonna be it. So
GG.
congratulations, Gozu, first tournament of the season, taking home that trophy, being our champion tonight, qualifying for the